And now, our feature presentation.
This is Ed McMahon. And now, here's Andrew.
Andrew Z. Call up that Andrew Z. I said Andrew Z. In the morning, it's time to wake up. Andrew Z. In the morning, yeah. Come on.
Come on, everybody. Welcome. Hello. It's Monday, January 25th, 2021, in the year of our Lord. We are almost through the first month of 2021, everybody. Welcome to the show. Demetrius Nicodemus. Eastside, Southside Gina. Chris Tiefel. And Donna P. Oh, man. It's going to be a good day. Let's do this.
Andrew Z. In the morning.
Woo! Morning, everyone. God, what a great day. Now, usually Ashley's Mondays and Donnie's Tuesdays. Is that right? Or am I?
No, I'm always on Monday.
You're always on Monday? Okay. Well, Gina threw me off then. I apologize. So, Ashley, some big news. She's going to take her real estate license test again today.
Yes. Third time is
charm.
the charm. Yes, baby.
She got close both times, right? She was very close to passing.
I think she missed it by like 2 questions the first time and maybe like 5 questions the second time. And I think there's like 150 questions or something crazy. There's like a ton. Yeah. So she's been real close.
Like, is this one of those tests where they present unnecessary scenarios? Like,
yeah, it's one of those tests like where it has absolutely nothing to do with the profession at all. Just like all the random legal stuff that nobody practicing law or real estate actually knows.
Right.
They just want you to know it once at one point in time.
You have to learn it for this test, and it's the last time you'll ever need it.
Yeah,
I feel like that's the case with almost all tests.
Right? I mean, for real.
I can't remember the last time I've taken a test. But I don't like them. I know.
Yeah. So
I was taking it was a 10-question quiz that you could just take as many times as you wanted until you got 90%. So, and it was multiple choice. So it took so much of the pressure off.
Was it serve safe, Andrew?
I think it was serve safe.
Serve safe is the dumbest testing. Like, it's the same thing. You have to learn so much stuff and test on so much stuff that you never use, and you're going to forget as soon as you walk out the door.
For those who know, ServSafe is which is your certification for if you're going to be around food for that's food for sale for consumers.
Yeah, food service.
And that's probably a test you want to tell the public you crush every time you take it, and not say I study for one time and then I forget the rest of it because I don't really need it.
It's because there's a lot of stupid and unnecessary stuff that you learn in it.
And you get in there, you're like, do I need gloves? Can I stir this off junk? I don't remember.
Yeah. I mean, it's long enough, and as long as it's semi-hard, right? It's good. It's I'm not dipping it. I'm not dipping it in the boiling.
Right? No, that'd be crazy.
This is what gives it its mild flavor.
Okay, I have a controversial question about the ServSafe because I had a friend who made a complaint to a restaurant because they saw a worker handling food without gloves. But isn't it? You don't have to wear gloves as long as you wash your hands, right?
Correct.
That's what I thought. You don't have to.
As long as you're washing your hands constantly, and I know a lot of them even have the sanitizer right there. You put your sanitizer on. Yeah, you don't have to wear gloves. I was under the same impression. I thought you had to wear gloves all the time.
No,
but you do.
Yeah. I mean, but honestly, if a customer kind of looks at an employee and makes a determination that person should probably be wearing gloves.
Yes.
Like you should probably pull Dirty Joe to the side and go, "Hey, Joe,
I don't know, man.
While the Smiths are here,
I don't know. I think it's entirely situational dependent. You're in the back of the house. You're following all the rules. Nobody can see you. Yeah, feel free to follow the rules. You don't necessarily have to wear gloves. You're in the front of the house making a sub sandwich at Subway. Maybe make a show of putting on some new gloves.
or
that's a good point.
Or don't hire the dude that does mechanic work on the side, where his fingernails, he's got like crap all under the fingernails all the time, and he's like, "I'll wash my hands."
Yeah,
Skeeter. But the problem is, you still got.
You meet him and they're like, "Why all your friends call you AP?" And he's like, "Oh, it's a long story. Back when I was a kid, I liked to pick my ass." And so,
ass picker Joe.
So they called me ass picker. I shortened it when we got into high school. We got the AP. And then I just decided to tell people it was advanced placement testing, but nobody believed me because I'm as dumb as a box of fucking rocks. But
good time. So we'll do highlights or lowlights from the weekend. You can do one. You can pick one. You can do both of them. I do have one of each. My highlight was we had movie time with the girls last night, and every other week we have all the girls over. Had movie time with the girls last night, which was fun. We watched Greatest Showman again. We all love that movie so much. Of course, it's about Phineas T. Barnum, P.T. Barnum in the beginning of the circus, and which was sad to read afterwards when the movie first came out and I read about it. It wasn't really a true story. It was kind of, it was definitely embellished. They don't even say inspired by true events, which I at least like to see that because I want to buy in so bad. And I'm like, man, he didn't really ride the elephant to his daughter's. First
off, spoilers.
It didn't say inspired by true events, but it said at least a guy existed with this name.
Yeah,
so we're close.
Exactly.
So how long do you have to wait after a movie or show's out to consider it spoilers, Tiefel?
Oh man,
I don't know. I just like saying it.
Yeah.
Hey,
I haven't seen it actually.
I enjoyed Greatest Showman, and I saw it opening weekend. And I don't know if it was just the theater that I was in, but it seems like at some points in the movie, the music overpowers the actual singing.
Oh
no,
my
it
God.
seems like at some point in a movie you must find something that you hate. That's what it seems like.
Yes, it's almost
what do you
like
mean? No, I enjoyed the movie. I've watched it several times.
All right,
but,
obviously you enjoyed it, but you don't want people to know that you enjoyed it so much that you didn't find fault with it.
I
was just asking a goddamn question, people.
People's one of those people, no matter what, he's gonna like I'll be like, Tifa, how was your dinner? And he'll be like, it was great, except it was a little salty. Like there's always something.
There wasn't something. My God, you people judge me for no reason.
Only because we love you.
We judge you by what comes out of your mouth. That's what we judge.
But I will tell you, I love The Greatest Showman, and it made me wish that life was like a musical. Like, so you would know like way beforehand when you were going to get into a car accident because you would hear the drums go boo, 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 and you could be like, oh shit, or you're going to get into a fight, or you're about to have sex. How awesome would that be? Like every day you walk in the house and your wife is like, you're about to get some and it's gonna be good.
Demetrius just wants his own like soundtrack to follow him.
Right.
Oh, exactly. Hell yeah. Dude, it would be.
If you had
get out of so much trouble like that.
Yeah.
If you had that, what would be like your theme song? Like when you walk into a room every time, what would be your theme song?
The theme song from Shaft.
Yeah, it would.
He's a bad mother. Shut your mouth. I'm just talking about Shaft.
I think if things start getting serious, it just starts being a slow, more drawn out. Shut your mouth.
Yeah, like you wouldn't even have to. They wouldn't even have to have jury trials anymore. You could just like right before they were about to give the verdict, you'd hear the music and you'd be like, "Oh shit, I'm about to go to prison."
And now, Donnie P. Donnie P, did you really say you haven't seen Greatest Showman yet?
Yeah, I think we started like once or twice, and it keeps getting like canceled. I don't know. It's like, no, we're watching something else. I want to see it. I just haven't seen it yet. I don't know why.
Awesome.
I know some of the songs.
You would see so much of yourself in that movie. You have to watch it.
Like
it is really good.
Yeah, it's so good. Okay.
However, the acting of the little people I find slightly unbelievable.
You talking about Tom Thumb?
No, I'm talking about Chris Tiefel.
Oh, nice. Well, it was a legitimate thing. I didn't know if anybody else had experienced it. That's why I asked.
God. Did you try turning down the volume?
I was in the theater. I didn't have controlled volume.
Who mixed this film?
This is unacceptable.
You're trying to have a freaking conversation about a movie I enjoyed. Oh God.
Kind of enjoyed. Mostly.
I love it.
I enjoyed it despite that. My God.
You know, dear,
do this all morning.
you know, dear woman, I thoroughly enjoy your company, and the sex that you gave me was amazing. But I'd like to point out a couple of inadequacies on your hand job delivery.
Hey, if you don't communicate, you don't get better.
Oh, and then my low light would be I've been doing so good on this diet the last 2 months or last 2 weeks. I lost 10 pounds in 12 days. 13.
I like how his losing weight is his low light.
Well, because yesterday kids were over, because they're not over all the time, split parenting or whatever. And the kids were over, and yesterday was a bad day. So I woke up this morning, and I feel like I gained all the weight back in one day. I pretty much feel like that's what happened. You feel bloated, you feel heavy. Go ahead, D.
Yeah, and this is what I'll tell this to everybody. Look, you will have those days. A bad day is okay to have, as long as you don't wallow in it and make it a bad week. Yeah. Understand that it is all right to not eat that stuff constantly, that you can treat yourself and don't feel like shit about it. Yeah, you're bloated and you're gassy, and that's because 12 days you hadn't eaten like this. Mm-hmm. And so now your body's adjusting to that food, and just remember that feeling and then just move on. It's okay. It's okay.
So thank you. I'm with you, Andrew. I was on like 3 weeks straight of working out, like without missing like more than a day.
Yeah, wow, good.
Thank you. Today marks like the fourth day that I have not worked out. So like I feel like I'm really, really close to completely falling off the wagon. I even made a little calendar and put it on the fridge. It got moved to the side of the fridge once. I moved it back, and I like mark off every day I worked out. Now I'm just gonna pan the camera real quick. You can see the calendar. Oh no, you can't. That little piece of paper, it's the calendar with a Domino's pizza coupon like magneted in front of it. Like it's my calendar. Come on.
You can't put the Domino's pizza coupons in front of the workout calendar.
I thought Domino's was his own coupon.
Come on, Ash.
I feel like Ashley just sabotaged you.
It's super sabotagey.
That is when you put a food that can easily be delivered to your house over your workout calendar. That is sabotage. That is some deep state shit right there.
Right? I don't think, maybe I don't think Ashley wants you to get all fit and trim and good looking. I think that she wants to keep you fat. She's happy keeping you fat.
I try to tell myself that for a while, but eventually I just stopped believing it. There's been a couple of years.
So since you have a calendar, which day is leg day?
Every day is leg day, brother.
Legs are this good every day.
I do actually do funny. I do legs in the most non-masculine way. Have you guys seen these machines at the gym they're like
closures that strengthen the? Oh, you do.
No,
that.
I mean
I thought you were gonna talk about the vagina strengthening machine.
That's actually that's the least masculine. That's the third least masculine is the stair machine that just goes up into the sky. And the reason I say it's least masculine because I'm pretty much the only guy I ever see on it. But I'm telling you, it is a legs and booty workout that you could not believe. I do that thing for 10 minutes and I'm toast. But I end my every workout with that. So every day is leg day, Mr. Tiefel.
But I also can't blame Ashley for the coupon thing. You only have one magnet on your fridge.
Yeah, they're on the sides now. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's just a style thing, I guess.
No, it's so that nobody can see the magnets and stuff on your. Look, I've lived with my wife for as long as I've known my wife, and I know that she looks at optics and things, and she goes, "Okay, can you see that in the camera?" And then she moves everything that she doesn't want to be seen, like
You are so
Christmas
right.
time. All you see is you see a beautiful tree in pictures. You don't see all the garbage and shit that she's pushed out on the side so nobody can see it.
Right, like
You know.
Donnie's saying I'm about to pan my camera. I'm like, oh shit, I can't do that. I could never pan my camera. You can only see this part.
Yeah, I have this one area cleaned. What are you doing right now? Move the camera?
You don't move that camera from the TV ready part of the house.
Like that's the set. You just have a set in your house for sure.
So kudos to Ashley for having the whole from where the camera is all the way to the fridge. That whole panning area is all clean. Wow.
See, and let me just tell you, you look at the camera, and what does this image say about the man inside of it? There's a cross, so it tells you that he's godly. There's a refrigerator, and it's clean, so it tells you that he's a family man and that he works real hard. He's got his coupons, which shows you that he's fiscally responsible.
Google.
All of this shit presents itself as a man that you want to marry, that you wish you had married, that you wish was the stepdad to your kids right now because you made a poor alcoholic choice.
If I pan my camera, I had hung these frames that I got. I found them at a garage sale. I'm like, oh, I like these, so I hung them on the wall. And I like 6 months ago, and they still have the stock photo.
Yeah, that's your wish family.
They're beautiful. I have a dog. I have this bunch of random white people on my wall. It's amazing.
Those are your cousins from Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Do you tell your kids when they go, "Hey, mom, who are these people?" And do you look at them and go, "They're the people I wish I had in my life. This is how I'm living my secret. I am putting it out in the universe. I want this family because you guys suck."
Yeah, these are the ones that don't disappoint me.
Yes.
A dub came walking down when I first put him up, and he's like, who are all those white people on our wall? I was like, oh, they're our new family. Those are our new kids, and that's our new dog. And he doesn't think I'm funny. So he just looks at me like this. He's like,
yeah, and Tiefel, you need to set up your area.
Like you think I don't have coupons? You think me don't use coupons? You think I don't have a camera ready portion of my apartment?
No, not ready for as the same stuff that Donnie would have. You need your picture needs to scream, "I'm ready for a woman."
Yeah, my entire persona screams, "I'm ready for a woman."
Really?
They're just not picking up what I'm sending off.
Yeah,
they're picking it up. They're picking it up. It's maybe you ought to turn the volume down on it.
Yeah, I'm wearing my cologne. I'm wearing my normal cologne, Desperation.
Maybe your message is a lot like the music from The Greatest Showman. It's slightly overpowering the lyrics.
My standards pretty much dropped to like no visible needle marks.
No visible.
Right.
He's like in between the toes is good as long as mom can't see that shit. I'm good. Yeah. No, mom, my girlfriend's just sleepy. She's just sleepy.
No, she's tired. Mom, come on. I gotta say hi to Chris Atwater. She says, "Good morning, everyone listening live for once instead of saving for Aaron's podcast." Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. Also, Kevin Spittler, my good friend Kevin from the Toledo Hemp Center, is listening this morning. Appreciate that. And speaking of having kids, because we get them every other weekend, so our weekend to get them. And a friend of mine is going through a breakup. She was my producer 20 years ago at a station in Michigan, and now she's going to break up with her husband. She's got 2 kids, and it's just the last few months, they've separated their ways, and they're not living, so they're going through the divorce process. And I guess the separation of days, or what do you call the
stuff?
No, the shared custody stuff. Shared custody stuff is starting to get to her because dropping her kids off. She used to be with them all the time. She stayed home to raise them. She did all this stuff, and now she's having to send them away half the time. And it's funny. I told my ex-wife when we were going through our stuff, and I said, once you make this choice, you're immediately choosing to be with your kids only half of their life. So are we sure this is what we want to do? And she said, yes. Your assholeness has definitely overpowering.
I like how his last ditch effort was to guilt her with the kids.
It was,
but you gotta try. You gotta
real. You were just like, once you make this decision, understand it's half their lives, and she was like, you know what? I am overpowered with love for my children, but fuck that.
Oh, yeah. How desperate were you?
Oh my God!
What were the things you tried beforehand?
I know.
I feel like he's right. You shouldn't take divorce lightly. You should definitely go. You should definitely have every conversation.
Yeah. Here's the one thing that always pissed me off was women like to surround themselves with "you go girls."
Yeah, echo chamber. They're like Trumpsters when it comes to relationships.
Exactly, and it's like, oh yeah, she's not happy, so she tells her friends like, yeah, you go, you don't need him, but you do this on your own. And this echo chamber, and I think I was trying to bring it to reality. I'm like, okay, you listen to your echo chamber, but just know this, once this is finalized, then you're losing your kids for half their life.
And this is why I told Estelle that she is never the first one ever called in a group of friends, because nobody calls Estelle because Estelle's like, bitch, you ain't got a job. You got no skills. Where you going to go? Yeah. And people are like, well, I don't need you, Estelle. I'm going to call Mary, who thinks I'm a superhero. And I can do anything.
That's so accurate because I am the Estelle. That's why I don't have a lot of girlfriends, because I will definitely not echo back. I'm going to be like, what are you doing with your life right now? We need to talk.
Yeah. No, and you can't have all you go girls around you.
Well, you know what? I will say it and I'm sorry to interrupt you, Andrew.
No, go ahead.
Depending on the circumstances that women need a you go girl.
You need both.
Yes.
And I will tell you because just last week, Kara got a promotion. She applied for a new gig in the company and she got a promotion.
Nice.
Now, yeah, which is awesome. But for a long time, Kara's biggest, I would say, critic has been herself, and people who have been around her at her job who have told her that she's doing the best that she can and that she's lucky to be in the position that she was in and that she couldn't get anything better. And for a long time she was eating that, and it didn't matter about where anybody else was like, go get it, girl, don't listen to that bullshit, just go get it. And she had a couple of friends who were like, you know what, go get it. If the worst thing, and I told her the worst thing that can happen is you not get the gig. That's the worst thing.
Yeah.
But
true.
But she had some friends who really uplifted her and helped her over that hump, and she went through the process. And the next thing you know, she's sitting on a promotion and a raise, and she's getting out of the department that she doesn't like. And it was because she had people who were like, you have more value in you than what you see.
That was good. I totally agree. Like you said, Gina said you need a balance. You need both. You can't have all go girls, you go girls. You need to have a balance of the two.
Also, it's weird to me that you would call them her friends if they're not encouraging her to try to move forward with her life, because that's not her friends. Applying for a promotion is way different than a divorce. You should always go. Yeah, you go girl for applying for a promotion. Always. There isn't really a why not? Why would you not do that?
Sure.
But as far as a divorce goes, obviously if there's abuse or anything going on,
right.
But I mean, my opinion of breakups is that, especially when you have kids, is that You try every route that you can to fix that relationship. Everyone you can. You go every single route. You put in at 100% in every route. Try something different until you have exhausted all your options. Because if you leave regret, you're going to go backwards at some point. So make sure that you've exhausted all of your options and this is exactly what you want to do and then move on. So you should have those conversations. I think that Andrew was right. Like, hey, did you think about this aspect? Did you think about that aspect? Especially when it's something as big as divorce. We have to think about every aspect.
I think it goes to presentation of the topic. like if Andrew had come to her and go, this is really going to affect the children and how much we get to see them, and it's a real concern for me and everything. He came at her like, you realize you make this decision, only half their lives you're going to be part of. All right.
Thank you, King Solomon, for pointing that out. Give me a sword and I will split the baby.
I think there's a lot of presentation needed in like how you do that.
So then, but then now looking back now,
actually
to where I'm at now, it's been years, and I'm like, I don't know. Like I look at Gina, who's got 5 kids full time. I look at Donnie, who's got 19 kids full time, and I'm like, man, I could. And then people are like, God, you have 5 kids. I can't believe you must be great, and blah 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 blah. No, I get rid of them every 10 days for 4 days, or it's I couldn't have them full time. Like I couldn't even imagine. It would drive me crazy, and I hate to say that. It makes me a horrible person. I know.
I have called Andrew like almost in tears, like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like it seems like everybody's parenting better than me and doing better than me. And they actually have time to do things. And I'm like, I see all these people and they're going to movies and they're going out. And he's like, you have 5 kids full time. Not everybody has that. Like people get breaks. You don't get them. I'm like, oh yeah.
Like Colleen and I need that time for just us to not have to. I mean, we have Josie still, but when you go from 5 to 1, it's like having none. I mean, it's really.
I was over at George's last night for dinner, and we were eating kind of late. We were eating kind of late, so the kids had already eaten, and they were in the bedroom with the door shut. All of a sudden, and it's the 10-year-old and the 2-year-old, and they're in there. All of a sudden, we hear the 2-year-old start crying. And his dad yells in there, "Why are you crying?" I said, "Don't get involved in their stuff. You don't want to get you don't want to deal with that right now. You don't need to get involved. They have their own thing going on. It's confusing, and you don't want to get involved."
If they're making noise, it's probably okay. And if they're making no noise, that's when you go check.
I love
that's
it.
That's when you know the 10-year-old's like this. Shh, 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 shh. Stop. You're okay. You're all right. Stop.
Blood gushing.
Stop. I will look.
Trying to put the arm back together.
Look, I know it looks like blood, but it's not blood. Look, it's like jelly. Relax. Stop. You're gonna get me in trouble. Stop.
I love how Georgia put Andrew, Colleen are lucky as F. Go ahead, Georgia.
I have to jump on and say it's not the 10-year-old, it's the 2-year-old you have to worry about. He will beat the living shit out of his 10-year-old brother and not care.
Yeah, and he's like I think he's bipolar or something, because he went from like crying real tears to like laughter like that. Like he's like sitting there crying his eyes out. We're hearing him behind the door crying his eyes out, and then like 2 seconds later he's laughing up a storm.
Oh my God.
That's not bipolar. That's
I realized that it was an improper definition of bipolar. It was said for humor.
No, what I'm saying is that you might be raising a little serial killer. That's all I'm saying.
You guys know who his dad is, though.
Right.
It's everything.
I'm more concerned about the uncle, but okay.
Yeah, I like the fact that you guys hang out and have dinner together. That's cute. You brother and sister.
Just making sure that she never makes it on the list of people he needs to get even with.
Yeah, good job, Georgia.
I'm the one he should be scared of.
But like she like that old I forget the old skit where he's talking about the guy where he's talking about the shooter of The Office and stuff, and you just always bring the weird guy a Snickers. Like she just brings she just every now and then feeds me a stuffed pork loin. Just in case. She just never go on that rampage.
Thanks for the candy.
She's not on the list. Oh God! All right. So anyway, my friend, I see her and she's worried about leaving the kids. I'm doing in a couple of years, you'll be glad to get that break. You'll be glad to dump them off at the ex's house. Believe me.
It's look. It's
Can
not
I dump
about
them off at your ex's house?
Okay. So wait, let's stop here and pause. So it went from a threat in you originally, and now you're selling it as a benefit. You're like, hey,
absolutely. That's what I'm saying. You
gotta know your audience.
Yeah, history. You have to be able to get the full perspective. You've got to be away from the actual incident, and she's living in it, so she will never see that side. I'm years away from it, and I see that side. So it was just kind of interesting to watch.
What's really funny?
Live her life on Facebook.
It always makes me laugh when I think like how like what is that word when it's like when you think really I know it but I can't put my finger on it. Is it hubris or when you think that your presence in somebody's life will diminish it so severely that you could use it as a threat? When you're like, can you imagine like when you're like, you're only going to be in your kids' lives half the time? Well, what if like most of the times you're a dick and that maybe half the time is really beneficial for the children? How about that? How about we look at the fact that now we've cut the dick quotient in half, and now instead of the full dick that your kids were getting, they only get half a dick some of the time.
I think it's perspective. That is perspective. There is one. I'll go the other side. There is a downside though. When you have split parenting, there is going to be one house. It just happens. One house that they really consider their house, and the other, I'm going to hang out with my dad, or usually that's the way it works. I say dad because that's usually the way it works. So like for us, since I was gone from the house that they grew up in, I was always the go-to house, and that was always their house. So that is the downside. And then she gets to see the little things, a lot more of the little things than I do. But I mean, it's you do make the best of what you have, and
they're overrated, Andrew. The little things are overrated.
They're past major milestones at this point. They've learned to talk and walk and everything.
Yeah,
no, that's accurate.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you opened up a restaurant and called it the Little Things, and just served little pieces of food, nobody would like that shit. Nobody likes that shit. You know who says it's the little things? It's the people who have made every big event, and they tell that to people who've missed big shit, and it tries to make them feel better about themselves. They're like, oh, so you missed a couple of birthdays, but you got to see him wake up every day and brush his teeth, didn't you? It's the little things, and you're like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you into brushing the teeth.
Highlights and lowlights from the weekend. Who's next? Who wants to jump in?
I got one.
Demetrius got one. Demetrius got one.
All right. So low light, kind of a low light. Almost got beat by a shelf that I was putting up on a wall. Almost got beat by a shelf. But I said, "Fuck you, shelf. I'm gonna find a way," and I found a way. So I did that. But look at this. Look at this.
He brought show and tell.
What's in the jar?
Look at this.
Oh,
this right here
fingers?
is handmade apple pie filling from scratch. Hand peeled apples, cooked the sauce down myself, jarred it, and put it away. I am 2 steps away from being an extra on Little House on the Prairie.
Away.
Wow. What did you say, Tiefel?
Do you have an apron?
No.
I'm trying to get a visual. I want a visual.
I do man cooking. Well, not really man cooking, but it was more of a competition I had with my wife since we've been watching the Ultimate Kid Baking Challenge. And frankly, let me just say this to any of those kids that are listening. Fuck you kids for knowing that much. Fuck you. Nobody should know how to make a creme brulee off the top of your head. You shouldn't be 11 and be able to do that.
Right.
Fuck you.
For those who don't watch, it's very interesting because they'll just throw a couple ingredients at them. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to make a creme brulee. What? How do you know?
Yeah. And they're like, I'm going to do a little. They're like, I'm going to do a little creme fraiche with a little cream cheese, homemade frosting, and then I'm going to make my traditional homemade pan vanilla cake. And you're like, really? And where's your traditional piece of paper with all the ingredients on it?
Somebody has to make those up to write them down, though, right?
Yeah. Well,
I'm talking 11-year-old kids.
Yeah.
That's the shit that pisses me off. When a 10-year-old walks in and goes like this, so I put it in the blast chiller so it'll set quickly. I'm like, first of all, fuck you for knowing what a blast chiller is.
Right?
When I was 11 and trying to cook, I was like, let's put some Skittles in the spaghetti. Like these kids.
Yep. Me at 10, you're going to need 2 cups of water to boil 4 hot dogs. Set the burner to high and watch it until the ends burst open. That's when you know the hot dog's done.
I remember when I was a kid liking to make omelets. Omelets was my thing for the family. I'd make really good omelets when I was like 10, 11, 12. I remember for the family.
See that I love omelets. I love omelets as well. I love a good egg, but I love a great omelet on there, which is why if I do ever get married, if I ever do find that lucky woman to make an American citizen, my one thing at the reception, omelet bar.
Omelet bar. Interesting. All right. Now I do have a question though about this the baking show, and that is, does it look like the kids on there are they know these freezer and creme brulee, all this stuff? They know all this stuff because they were passionate about it, like they're looking it up online and watching TikToks and doing all that stuff? Or is it because the parents are like, all right, I like cooking, I'm going to drill it into this kid's head, he's going to be the ultimate cooker, so that I know I can write his coattails, or because I was a frustrated chef and couldn't do it, so I'm going to live my life through this kid, or what?
I think some of it, I would say 100% of it is the kids have passion for it. I would say probably 50% come from some kind of restaurant background. There's one kid that I watch on this show. His name's Devon. That's D''VON, because we don't have time to think about how many other letters we could put in this bitch. So, and I love him. And his mom is like a straight African immigrant who doesn't like cook for shit. And she just sits there, she goes, I do not understand some of the things he put in the thing, but it tastes so good. So
it wasn't the mom.
Yeah, and it's not the mom. You're like, she definitely didn't fucking, she's like, put the icing on the cake. It taking too long. Oh my God. And so Devon like kills it. And like, so, but he cooks but you can tell like some of these kids are like on the verge to diabetes. And then, and for anybody in the world who doubts people are born a certain way, watch the baking show.
Kids baking.
I just got this vision now of behind the scenes of this mother just going off on one of the kids going, no more wire whisks.
Wow, you took it back to Mommy Dearest.
Yes, I did.
So, speaking of taking it back, I want to go back to the beginning where you said that, you basically made this pie filling to prove something to Kara. So did you guys have a bet? Did she say you couldn't do it? Like,
no.
How did this start?
Well, no, because we looked at each other and, for the longest time, I've been perplexed by the McDonald's apple pie. For the longest time, it has been a product that has perplexed me and just unsettled me. And
in a good way, like you were like, man, this is good, and I don't know why. It shouldn't be so good.
Yeah. And so we were watching the kids' baking challenge, and I did not know that those were just called hand pies. Did you know that? They're hand pies.
Really?
And so that was a challenge to the children. They were like, your challenge is to make a hand pie. And so some of the kids were like,
and you knew it as a McDonald's apple pie.
I was like,
all apple pies are hand pies.
And I'm like, don't be a dick, Chris.
No, if you eat it with just one hand, Chris.
Yeah. So I looked at Kara and I was like, it's obviously a trademark thing. They can't just say McDonald's apple pie. So they have to call it a hand pie. And all these kids were like, fuck yeah, I get to make hand pies. Like it was something that everybody does.
Yeah, like everyone knew it. Like you should have known what it's called a hand pie.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh shit. And so Karen and I looked at each other and we were like, let's see who can make the best hand pie. And so what she did was she went out and she got us all the ingredients. Well, she got her ingredients and I just used stuff that we had in the house. And so she she took a bunch of the kids, bunch of Cohen's peach and peaches and cream Jell-O containers, and she emptied them all into a bowl. Like that was her mixture. And then she put it in the hand pies and she made them and they were good. They were good, but they weren't handmade good.
Yeah.
They weren't handmade good. They weren't sweat over a saucepan for an hour, boiling down your mixture and your concoction good. No. Big Daddy brought the heat.
They were more, I'm a busy working mom good.
Yeah, it was like wrapping a hot dog in a biscuit and then fucking sending it away. Yeah. I hunted down said biscuit and hot dog, killed it, ground up the meat myself, and presented it in a way that made a child go, ooh, if I knew about sex, this would be it.
Go ahead, Danny.
I like how D keeps saying boiling down because I know you almost said reduce a couple of times.
I did.
You don't want to commit because now you're going to be that guy that people call. It's like you just don't want to go all the way there. You're like, I'm boiling it down. I'm not reducing it. I'm not going all the way pro.
Yeah, nobody's going to ask me for a recipe. They're going to be like, that motherfucker said boil it down. He don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, exactly.
We're on to you, D.
Did Carrie use bought pie crust or did she make her own pie crust?
We bought the pie crust because we thought that would even the playing field. It was supposed to be about the filling.
Okay, all right. So you needed to be on the same ground as far as
so
you weren't judging the whole pie. You were judging the filling.
Yeah.
Did you notice? I'm this old. This is how old I am. I remember when McDonald's apple pies, they would just drop in the fryer, and they. Am I the only one? Look,
that's how they made them.
I didn't know they did it differently. So
now they look like pies.
Oh
no,
they used to be crunchy. They used to be real crunchy back.
They're still crunchy.
Yeah. No, they look like they have pie strips.
No,
Chris, can you do some research on this? Show the old McDonald's apple pie
they're still rectangle shape. They still come in a box.
No, yeah, that is all true. But when you open the boxes, when they're different, one of them.
You mean the lattice design on the front? Oh, I'm sorry. I mean the cut up pieces of dough that they lay crisscross over one another to make it look like a fence.
D, you, Kara, Ashley, and I should get together and do weekly recipes. We should share recipes.
I know. But yeah, the apple pie has definitely changed. One of the Tiefels are great at research, both of them. So whatever is going to pop up, but there is a difference. The lattice design is a new thing, and I remember just. Here's the other thing about it. Here's the Tiefel's.
This is the current one. This is the current one.
I think they just cut it more. Like it used to be holes instead of those little.
Watch, that's the current one. You saw that
the current one, and then this is the older one that he's talking about. Never mind, wrong one. Sorry, shared the same one again because I'm stupid.
Wow. He's like, I accidentally typed in apple pie, if you know what I mean, and that's not the picture I want to share.
He's like, don't share that screen. Yeah,
well, that's what it used to be.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, when it looked like just a chubby egg roll.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. It used to be an egg roll, and now it's not hard anymore either. It's more soft, like a pie would be.
Maybe it's baked now. I don't know.
Yeah, so lava pockets.
They're very different.
Oh yeah,
but
they needed to make them like that because it was like, yeah, exactly, because the inside was piping hot.
Brenda calls them lava pockets.
It's so accurate. Those and pizza rolls.
And here's the way. And I don't know if you guys know the trick between pizza rolls and hot pockets and all the and in the lava pockets or whatever. The way you eat them is you bite and you suck at the same time. So
that's how you choke and die.
That way, the filling doesn't squirt out the side, and you lose that bit filling onto your shirt and stuff. So you have to bite in.
Wait, so you don't eat a whole pizza roll all at once?
No, I bite in half of it.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. We can't talk about pizza rolls without talking about Ashley, because she's like the pizza roll champion of the world. What she does is she won't bake them, by the way. She will microwave them to a temperature just under 520 degrees.
Yeah.
And she will not let it cool. She does not let them cool down. And she puts it in her mouth and at the same time drinks a sip of milk and lets the milk cool it down, and it's a flavor explosion. Gina's having a heart attack. But
oh God.
Yeah.
Ashley has a garbage palate.
Yeah. Like, honestly, you just know you're going to have a hard mouth day when your wife is meal prepping and you see breakfast, Captain Crunch, lunch, pizza rolls, and then some kind of, yeah. You're like, goodbye, palate and top of my mouth.
Oh, Ashley, I love you so much.
I wanted to say something else, but I forgot anyway.
Pizza roll squirting.
Pizza. Was it pizza rolls?
He just described pizza roll cereal. Yes, you forgot.
I like to take my pizza roll and put it right between the gum and the lip, and I just, get all the flavor out of it, and I carry a cup and I spit marinara sauce in it, like, God damn it. Hell is going on here, Luigi.
One thing I found out about Colleen and her kids regarding pizza rolls, and that it's really a deal breaker. I mean, if we hadn't gone this far before I found out, we would have never got together, because it's serial killer stuff. Her and her kids prefer them in the microwave.
Exactly. That's Ash. That's the same way. I don't get it.
Does Ashley have an air fryer?
Like too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have an air fryer and everything. They're delicious in the air fryer, but they'd rather have the microwave. All right. Yes, pizza rolls must be baked.
Oh, you're starting something now.
I always tell you, there's like the proper way to do it on the back of a package, and then there's the microwave instructions. And both? I get people. No, not both.
Both around
Everything
the package,
is better. Man. Everything is better when done in the oven.
Both around the package.
That's these newfound baking skills talking right there. Everything is better when it's in the oven.
We do shows at 375 for 45 minutes.
That would be a good ad campaign for the pizza rolls. We should call them up.
Exactly.
Like having people fight.
Yeah,
it's like left side, right side Twix. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Because here's the thing. I wonder if you could fry them if you.
Yeah, you can deep fry them too, but that's
I've never had them deep fried.
I mean, I'm gonna one up D and say he says everything's better in the oven. I disagree. Everything is better deep fried. That is more accurate. Yeah. Like your French fries don't oven nasty. Put them in the deep fryer.
You brought her out pizza roll.
Oh shit!
Oven. I'm gonna ask you this, ladies: oven, vagina, microwave, booty. Which would you prefer?
Microwave. But you don't even have deep fry. What's deep fry? Yeah. Where's the deep fry? Throw deep fry in there.
Has anyone ever had deep fried?
It's the bowling ball. No, I never have.
Yeah, pour some canola oil in a pan, heat it up, and throw them in.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Go ahead. Ashley wants to jump in.
I just want to tell you guys, you have to try the pizza roll thing before you knock it. You have
to. Milk, I'm good. I don't need pizza roll cereal. Thank you
guys, I know. I didn't even think about it being pizza roll cereal until you just said that a minute ago. And I'm like, yes, okay. Yes, it is. And I'm here for it. And I'm going to keep doing it. Well, so you have to nuke them for 2 minutes. Let them sit and deflate. Sprinkle some salt over them. Pop them open so there's a little bit of air. Throw it in your mouth. Take a drink of milk.
But why did you let them deflate to fill them back up? Just eat them while they're still full.
I don't know. It's just something I've done, and it's so good. And I can't stop. But you guys have to try
it. I can honestly say that I eat a lot of Italian food, and I never thought of chasing it with milk.
And I want to say thank you for calling pizza rolls Italian food.
It's Italian light. Italian light.
Nope.
Having Italian tonight, baby.
Pizza rolls with what? Texas toast?
I love that he brought in Ashley. Like he brought her in. Like, all right, here comes. I'm bringing back up.
Yeah, she wanted to come. She had to clarify herself to the people.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not. I'll never get on board with that.
D, were you done with the highlights and lowlights?
Yeah, I was done with my amazing apple pie filling that I eat with a spoon out of a jar.
Well, I feel like you guys should have brought in other judges though. Like I don't know why I didn't get a text. Like you're fat. Come eat this pie and see if it's good. Like you should have done.
I would never just put out a fat text to people and assume that they would come over for free food.
Oh no, I totally would.
Yeah, that's some shit I'm not willing to DoorDash to anyone's home. So
no, it's not DoorDash, it's D-Dash.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I just dropped off some pie because I know that walking far makes you winded. This is how it starts on my 600-pound life. People with good intentions.
That's true. It's all started with a baking contest.
Yep.
Now
my downfall was the ready bake oven my mom gave me when I was 5.
Anyone got a weekend of highlight, low light? Go
ahead.
I
do.
We'll go Tiefel.
Oh, Tiefel, go ahead.
Well, I was to say is since the new year, I've been cooking from home a lot more, because I got to a point where I was just eating out every meal. And that's just not sustainable. And so I decided to start eating at home more, and I'm cooking, and I'm trying to cook all these, different things, and I'm having a good time learning all this stuff. And over the weekend, I tried to make chicken noodle soup. I tried really hard, and it came out more like a casserole. Because I think when I was boiling down the stock, like before I shredded the chicken, I think I had it at too high of a temperature whenever I was letting it simmer, and it just kind of boiled off too much.
You boiled it down, like D.
I boiled it down. I did, and but no, it's still delicious.
Yeah, it looks good.
It was still delicious, but it was more of a casserole than a soup.
Let me ask you something. Did you put a lid on the pan?
Yeah, part way whenever I was simmering it, I had the lid on, but a little bit of air coming in.
No, doesn't need air. That's how it escapes, and that's how you reduce something. You want to leave a lid on it to keep it all in there.
Literally, the recipe I was following said to prop the lid open a little bit.
Yeah, you have to mod recipes.
When did you? Here's my question. At what point did you put the noodles in?
At the very end.
And how long did you let it sit in the noodles and that? How long was that process?
Like 6 minutes until they were done.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It was too many noodles.
Anything else? Yeah. Did you put anything else in it?
The peas were the very last thing. Okay. Once the noodles were done, put the peas in. But they were egg noodles, and they soaked up any of the liquid.
Egg noodles tend to do that. If you're gonna make, I love chicken noodle soup, but you got to use a ton of chicken stock and a ton of water.
I learned that. I learned that, but it was still very good. So I still counted it as a success.
It is.
I have some of it for lunch right now.
I remember one time my mom, she likes to make chicken noodle soup. That's one of her things. And she told me, she's like, all right, I'm going to go run some errands. I'll be gone a little while, blah, 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 whatever. Put the noodles in right before you're ready to eat. So don't put the noodles in too early. And I think I forgot her. So I just threw the noodles in and it was still cooking. And she knew, so she came home and tasted it. Right. When'd you put the noodles in? And I'm like, I don't know. I just kind of threw them. And then she was like really mad because I like ruined her chicken noodle soup. And to me, it's still delicious.
So I still count that as a highlight of the weekend. Like I made it was good. Yeah, fine. It's a casserole, but it's still freaking delicious.
Yeah.
No. And so, and
good
then
food is good food.
Yeah, and then I have found out last night that even though I have not been trying to make healthy food, like I've been making like I made like honey garlic pork chops one night. Mm-hmm. Like on Saturday I made like creamy mushroom chicken.
All right, Chris.
Stuff. and everything, and I'm not trying to do healthy recipes. I'm not trying to do healthy recipes, but I lost 5 pounds.
Nice.
It's because restaurants put tons of carb fillers in their food to make you feel fuller, cheaper. So that you spent carbs are cheap, and so they add a whole bunch of carbs to stuff. So that way, like if your burgers have buns that are this thick on your burgers, because they want you to be full, because you want to, but they don't want to add the proteins and stuff like that, because that's the expensive part. So you're cutting out a lot of carbs. That's why.
Oh yeah. So I was happy. So that's my highlight. My low light is chicken noodle didn't exactly end up being soupy,
right?
But the highlight being 5 pounds.
Do you have a recipe that the ones that actually cook? Do you have a recipe that like you don't know how much stuff you add? Like I have a recipe that I make for everything, this cheesy potato recipe, and I can't write the recipe down because I don't know how much bacon actually goes in it. Like I know how much I make. I write it down. Like, well, I make a 1.5 pounds or 2 pounds of bacon for a big, couple casserole dishes, but I don't know how much I actually put in it because I eat the bacon while I'm cooking. I don't know how much bacon really goes into them.
Oh, I also did a fat guy drug deal.
What?
So I don't know. You guys know Keith Bergman?
Yes.
So he made something which is apparently a regional Ohio thing called Johnny Mazzetti. It's basically American goulash with a crap ton of cheese.
Mm-hmm.
And so he made that. It was just something that a mutual friend of ours was talking about, and then he ended up being like, "I have to make this now." And so he made that, and then I had my first attempt at making a peach cobbler, which was okay but not great this weekend. So I traded him some of my peach cobbler for the Johnny Mazzetti for that. And so he just showed up in the parking lot of my building, and we just exchanged the containers and went our separate. It was a fat guy drug deal. It was like, here's your peach cobbler thing.
Drug deal. It was a fat guy Pokemon card deal.
Everyone was cooking this weekend.
I know.
So okay,
every weekend.
On that note, I didn't cook and I didn't eat healthy, but I know you guys aren't crazy about YouTube celebrities. You guys know who Mr. Beast is?
Yes.
No. So he's got a ghost kitchen now, and there's one in Toledo, and so the youngsters are talking about it, and he just has these big sloppy burgers. So I actually tried Mr. Beast on Saturday. I'm not really sure what restaurant it comes out of. I know it is in the mall or near the mall because you could see on the DoorDash app. But basically, the bag comes, and you gotta love the branding. Like there's his logo stickers on everything. Like basically, he just sent the recipes and the stickers and the bags to this restaurant.
Are you sure it wasn't Andrew's Kitchen?
No, it wasn't.
Well, I wanted to know what Andrew's Kitchens are called because I definitely want to support because I order a lot.
It's like 50 names. You'll eventually get them. You just do random things on DoorDash. You'll eventually get them.
So how was the Beast Burger?
Okay, so it was good. It was good. I got it Chris style, which is like a big smashed double patty with French fries on it, cheese and onions, and it was pretty good. I would put it up there close to Five Guys, but not quite. But Ashley would say Burger King is the number one burger in the city, but I would say I would put Five Guys up there as like the burger thing. But it was good.
Ashley truly palate.
She truly has a trash palate. What is going on?
Hey,
I love it.
She's so tiny too.
That's how it is. She shits herself. That is how she stays so skinny. She eats it and it runs right through her.
Like Donnie's never had to impress Ashley with food ever. Like
Burger King, he's the king of burgers. Right?
Hello, it's right in the name.
But yeah, so I liked it, but I don't know if I'll like hurry to order it again. You know what I'm saying? Like
the one time you want to try it, and
one off for now.
Yeah. All right. So Gina, you had a highlight, low light. Let's do that, and then let's go to
yes. So
people news.
We talk about Cobra Kai all the time, the Karate Kid spinoff. It made me. I think it just made me really nostalgic. So I was like thinking of all the shows and stuff we watched when I was little, and there was a show called Rags to Riches that I watched in the 80s. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
Yes, it was about the 3 foster girls who got adopted by the
six. But it was amazing. Yes, it was amazing. It was a musical. It was an amazing show.
It had Gina in it from
Yeah,
Martin.
yep, Keisha Campbell.
And-
Yep.
Yeah, and I used to watch that show until I started to question why the fuck would the state give 6 girls to a fucking single Italian dude living in a big ass house? What?
So anyway, Dee's trying to ruin my life, but listen, just leave me alone. Let me enjoy this. So anyway, I tried to find it on all the streaming apps like Fire Stick, and this is the one show that I have not been able to find. I've been able to find literally every show I've ever looked for, but I could not find Rags to Riches streaming anywhere.
Mhm.
So I'm like, well,
You got to
now-
Google pedophile.
actually rewatching it made me go like there was a couple of moments that I was like, that's kind of questionable. But anyway, so I decided to buy it. So I went to Amazon and I bought the series. And so I now own the entire series of Rags to Riches. So I thought, my kids like musicals. So I'm like, this is something we're going to watch together. And then I just get ready. And I don't have a DVD player, you guys. I was like, I don't own a DVD player.
You had to order it as DVDs?
Yeah. That's how bad it's nowhere. I tried everywhere.
Yeah. There's one guy in that fucking warehouse who just went, "What the fuck?"
Oh shit! I gotta move now.
And like blow the dust off of it.
Yeah, I gotta go past the Little House on the Prairie. I gotta go past the sisters.
So, and I don't do a
And they're like, "Hey, where are the DVDs to Rags to Riches?" And they're like, "Under the Elvis Memorial Collection plates."
What's the DVD?
So Georgia, I have a jailbroken Fire Stick. I looked in every streaming device and every streaming app on the jailbroken Fire Stick. I've never not been able to find something. This was the first time. So anyways, Dub sets up he brings his game system down because I want to watch the show. And it is as good as I remembered. I love it. We watched the pilot episode, which is like almost 2 hours, like a movie. And then we watched one episode. So we spent about 3 hours watching Rags to Riches last night with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And it was and both girls stayed out of their bedrooms and off of their phones for 3 hours.
That's a win. That
Yes.
is definitely a win.
Yeah, it was fun.
And this is what you tell them. You're like, yes, back in the 80s, all foster kids broke into song when they were adopted. Everybody was singing and dancing because everybody was rich in the 80s, and that's what it was. Now do this line of cocaine and shut the fuck up.
Clean the basement.
My mom says National Pie Day today. I don't know if that's true, but Demetrius, congratulations for your celebration. And anyone that DMs Demetrius will get a jar of pie filling today for National Pie Day.
Yeah, and it better be one person because I got one jar.
Everybody gets one apple.
One apple.
I jarred 2 jars, and somebody gets one.
One buddy.
Oh, speaking of my mom, real quick, I told you last weekend that Colleen and I were thinking about renting News of the World, which is the new Tom Hanks movie. But I didn't want to spend the $20. I didn't know it was going to be 20, and I just didn't want to spend it. She rented it this weekend and said it was phenomenal. So if you guys are looking for a movie, that new Tom Hanks movie, News of the World, that came out last weekend, is
a Western, right?
Yeah, the Western.
Yeah.
It's
where News of the World is just what happened next door.
So he did it. So he did it from jail, or Tom Hanks. From the pedophile jail?
The pedophile
jail?
Yes.
Well,
okay. Go
since
ahead.
we're talking movies, I saw a trailer last night for a movie I'm excited to watch, but I gotta say I'm not happy about the title. And Ashley and I got a little discussion about it because she thought it was clever and cute. So Coming to America has a sequel coming out.
Yes, Coming to America 2.
No, it's not Coming to America 2. It's not. It's Coming to America, and instead of TO, it's the number 2. It's Coming number 2.
Clever.
America. I know, but it hurts my brain. It's the same exact title. It's the same exact title.
It's not the same exact title. It's a number 2.
But when you say it, it sounds the exact same.
Right.
So I was like, I would have taken anything more. I would have said Coming to America 2, like the number 2 or TOO. And she's like, well, then what would that mean? I go, someone else would have to go with them.
Right.
Coming to America 2, like maybe they would bring a friend. I don't know.
See, that would be a good spin-off movie because then Eddie Murphy wouldn't even have to be in it because now someone else is coming to America too. TOO.
But it's coming to America.
Oh my, yeah. And the only reason is, they couldn't. They probably tried to release this earlier, but there was a travel ban, and we all know that it didn't matter what kind of fucking country you were coming from, Wakanda. I don't know what the fuck you ain't getting in while this dude was president.
This couldn't.
I don't know whatever shithole country you're coming from.
This couldn't come out till now because they had to change presidents because the travel ban is over. All right,
you'll have a son.
Tiefel, you have the news. Go ahead.
All right, so as we get older, we all.
Hold on, Ebenezer Bushrods.
And now it's time for Ebenezer Bushrods WTF News.
Well, like I was saying, as we get older, we all tend to look back on our life, a little nostalgia, and part of that is looking through photos. One woman who we only know as Lenora in Sonora, Mexico, was recently arrested because she was going through photos and she found photos of her husband with another woman. And she stabbed him several times over this.
Oh, damn.
Because she was angry he was with another woman. Turns out the other woman was just her younger self. She didn't recognize herself in the older photos.
Well, you know what that says? That says that man needs to change his wardrobe. If he's still got the same fucking shirt and the same pair of pants that he had when he met her, and he's still wearing those bitches around, you're inviting your ass to get stabbed. You got to put some timeline photos up, Bubba. You got to do that.
Yes, I agree.
So luckily, he was able to get the knife away from her, and before she decided to kill him over her jealousy of herself. So there's that. We think Florida's crazy. Apparently, it's all over.
I feel like Ashley and I could have that same scenario, except it'd be opposite because I've probably gained about 45 pounds since we started dating. I'd be like, "Who is this dude? Oh yeah, I remember that."
Yeah, who's this handsome mother effer?
This guy looks like he can make love for hours. Man, I am jealous of the time you spent with him.
I can never live up.
So the state representative in Oklahoma has found a really good, what he believes to be a very good revenue generator and a very good tourist attraction. He wants to issue hunting licenses for Bigfoot. He believes that will bring people to the state to buy the licenses and buy things in the state and also hunt for the elusive Bigfoot.
Now, is this search for Bigfoot or are we actually talking hunting?
Yeah.
Because the phrasing is super important on this.
Hunting. It is hunting.
Like you cannot just be out in the woods tall with the size 13 and expect to come back alive. That ain't a fucking
I thought it was
thing.
Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Bigfoot.
Technically, I'm within my rights, Your Honor. Look at this thing. It's 13. Nobody walks around with a 13 anymore.
You also get fishing licenses for the Loch Ness Monster as well. He's
just kind of generate that revenue. I think it's a nice idea.
I mean, it'd be cool to have it. Like, I guess you order it. You don't ever go. What state is it in?
Oklahoma.
Oh, you're never gonna go there, but you got it.
Which I always thought the Bigfoot was supposed to be in the Northwest. Up in Washington and Oregon.
No, I don't think Bigfoot is a hipster.
I feel like anywhere there's woods, I think you could.
Yeah, you could have a Bigfoot. Yeah,
I haven't followed the Bigfoot migration pattern lately.
I need to watch Harry and the Hendersons again.
Yeah, all right. One more.
Said no one ever.
So there is a Starbucks in St. Petersburg, Florida, that was having a pay it forward streak. It was a record-setting pay it forward streak that ended on customer number 458.
On that guy.
Peter, and I don't know how to pronounce his last name. SCHORSCH.
Peter Schmuck.
Exactly. Peter Schmuck saw a news story about the record-setting pay it forward and purposely drove to that Starbucks. And he ordered himself 2 venti mocha frappuccinos. And when asked by the drive-through worker whether or not, because the person in front of him paid for one of his mocha frappuccinos, would he like to then pay it forward to the person behind him? Mm-hmm. He answered no.
Let me ask you a question. What was his first name?
Peter
Tiefel.
No, yeah. I would not do this. I like the pay it forward thing. I think it's a nice gesture.
How many was the record?
He was customer 458, so 457.
So if that happened at Chick-fil-A, that would be about an hour and a half.
Yeah. His justification, he claims he's not trying to be a Grinch, but he thinks that people were doing it out of guilt rather than out of altruism.
Oh, he was helping people. Yeah. He's helping the guy behind him.
There is no such thing as an altruistic gesture. Not a single one. Because it doesn't matter if you're doing it because it makes you feel good or because it does something positive. That's still not altruistic. There's still a reason that you're doing it. There's no such thing.
And he's like, I got a $6 drink, but if I did the pay it forward, maybe the person behind me only gets a $2 drink. It was like he went out of his way to justify his assholeness.
Hey, good for him. He was helping out the guy behind him. Telling you.
So yeah, unfortunately there was that. So,
well, thank you. All right, Tiefel, that is Ebenezer Bushrod's WTF News, and that is the show for today. Demetrius Nicodemus, Eastside Southside Gina, Chris Tiefel, Donnie P. I'm Andrew Z. See you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody.